Hello everybody! David is here. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the little but very important topic, the bow. What bow should I buy for myself? This is a question I often hear. This is a question you often read wherever. And today I want to give you some simple advices how to find the best bow which suits perfectly to you. Well, let me tell you the first and how I find the most important thing. In general, it doesn't matter what bow you have, because the most important thing is that you really can handle the bow itself perfectly. That means your technique, how you hold the bow, the strokes and everything, this should be as perfect as possible. Okay? If this works, honestly, it won't matter what bow you will buy or you will get one day. So the most important is practice, 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 and take care that everything what you do here is proper, is right, is perfect made, is in perfect shape, and you feel well by doing whatever. If you do so, it doesn't matter actually. But now we come to what bow should it be. I would say if you're a beginner, it doesn't matter at all. If you got too much cash and you want to invest whatever, or your parents, and you're a kid and your parents, they're gonna buy you whatever, maybe a quite expensive beginner bow, it doesn't matter, it will work, no worries. But let's say this is not the fact. So at the beginning, it doesn't matter what bow you go for, because it's just important that it's a bow which is the right length. This I mean for all the children. If you start, of course, it shouldn't be a too long bow. It should really suit to your your age and your, how do you say, your size, right? But it doesn't matter. And if you're a grown-up beginner, it doesn't matter at all what bow. Take a bow and start practicing. And there you need to start to watch out that you do everything right. Exactly. So you won't go into bow strokes, techniques, whatever, because you will learn just the very, very basics, and maybe like playing the first notes and having your first fun by playing the first song in the first position. So no worries, go for the very cheapest bow which you can get. Don't spend money on this. It's important. Now we come to the next level, the intermediate. This is the time where you probably will start to figure out the different strokes. For example, a spiccato or staccato. Whatever you do, this gonna be the start into, my opinion, into this section of, okay, let's check if different bows they give a different sound or a different way of how it works with the techniques. But still, here it's not necessary to go for a really expensive bow. It's not necessary. You can go for still a good but cheap bow. It can be also a carbon bow. This is another topic. I will tell at the end what I think about this. But my opinion is, if you go for a bow which costs probably $100, $200, perfectly fine, and you will have fun with this. Because still, as an intermediate, it's really not about to go for the very best. It's not about this. It's about that you learn to handle everything the proper way and to handle it the right way. Because if you do so, later on, honestly, you won't have any problems with whatever bow you're gonna play. And now we come to the section of a professional where the level is super high. And now it starts to be interesting and also important, because what instrument and what bow you choose, because right now you will start to find your character, your personality of playing the violin. And this is the moment where you should search, and you should take a lot of time to search and to find the instrument which suits you perfectly sound-wise, and also to find the bow which suits you for all the way how you play the strokes and the techniques, and also for the sound that suits to your sound idea. Okay, and there my advice is always to take a lot of time. Of course, you can run somewhere to a dealer and you can buy a super expensive bow, because these bows, they are there, they're existing, and not everyone has a lot of money to afford something like this. But if you take time and you search and you take really a lot of time, you will find a bow which costs only a little amount, and it will give you the best sound you need. Because, of course, you really can handle and you have the right holding here, and your technique is perfectly trained and the basics are there. If so, doesn't matter. And here we come to the little topic about the carbon or the wooden bows. Today my opinion is that the carbon bows, they are really good. Honestly, I tried a lot bows, believe me. I tried the super expensive Frenchies, which were more expensive than Porsche, like hundred thousands and more of euros. And I also tried the very cheap carbon bows, which were only $100 or euros. And I could play with both. I would say the very expensive bow, of course, this one was better. But the carbon bow was not really bad. It was really good. And I could manage all the strokes I wanted to do. And also the sound. I could play a good sound. Because you need to learn. First, you need to learn how to create a good sound. Because if you're not able to do this, it doesn't matter what bow you play. So at that point, I really recommend to everyone to invest a bit of money and just go for a solid carbon bow. Because most of them, they have a good weight, and you can do almost everything with these kind of bows, and they are always good in your case, in your violin case. If you have one just as a second, third bow, as a practicing bow, as a bow for whatever funny gigs, it's always good to have a carbon bow. And this one also is good if you search a real good wooden bow. In between, you have a solid carbon bow and you will have a lot of fun without paying a lot of money for it. And now, one thing as well I always hear is that, yeah, but I'm, like people, they're different. Some are huge, some are tall, some are a bit small, tiny, some they have a lot of muscles and whatever. Hands, small hands, big hands, whatever. Yes, that's true. But in general, I would say that my opinion is a bow should always have a good weight at the very top of it. Because when you hold the bow like this, put the fourth finger on the bow and make this. And this is the way how to figure out pretty easily if there is a good weight here or not. Okay? And the balance in the wood, between this part and the upper part is super important. This is what is important for everyone. Doesn't matter what size you are and how are your arms and hands, small, big, whatever. This is really important, and when you play, you can make whatever sound with this. The most important is that you love the sound which the bow is making. And there you take a lot of time, and also take friends and search maybe for a good hall to try out. Play yourself different bows, let the people listen to you and tell you what was the best without telling what you play. Also the other way around. Let friends play the bow, try it out with your violin, because you search for your violin, your personality bow, and you will sit in the audience and listen. This is the best way how to get a good bow. I want to give you a little example. This bow, what I play, is my favorite bow. I found it already more than 15 years ago, and this is a very good but German brand bow, which cost me just a little amount compared to bow makers from France. So as you see, you can go really far money-wise, but the most important, to put it down, is that you learn the right way to play. And once you can really generate a great sound and you can play all the strokes with a great sound, honestly, it almost doesn't matter what bow you will take, because you will get out a good sound out of any bow. Okay, this is my opinion. And the second thing, take time, try a lot out, and it's not necessary to pay a lot. If you do so, it's up to you. Of course, it's not. It's also good, but it's more an investment, in my opinion. And it's like a painting by Picasso, right? You pay a lot of money, you pay for the name, but honestly, not each painting is as good as its money, I would say. But it's an investment, like you would invest in gold or in stacks or whatever. But in general, playing the bow is like biking. If you learned how to bike the bicycle, it doesn't matter what bike you take, you can go on it, right? So keep on practicing and stay tuned. Whatever comments you have, put it here and share this channel. I would be happy, and I hope I helped you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.